River's Edge came out in 1986. It was directed by Tim Hunter. It stars Keanu Reeves, Crispin Glover, and Dennis Hopper. So the basic storyline in this film is that one of the teenagers, who honestly looks like he's about 30, but we'll let him get away with it, he kills his girlfriend, and in the first opening scene of this film, you see him sitting by her dead, completely naked body, just shouting into the nothingness, and then proceeds to go try buy a beer, has some hassle with the clerk there, and then goes into school and brags to all his friends that he's killed this girl. Nobody believes him, so he's like, right, well, I'll show you the body. So the movie then proceeds that these kids go and find this body of this girl, and it sort of just plays out how each of the kids sort of deal with seeing this body, because none of them go to the police. They instead just sort of, it's almost like an amusement to them in a way. Most of them anyway. So conflicts start to arise between the group. Some people don't want to be involved. Other people are conflicted if not they should go to the police or not. And the movie is almost a weird sort of coming of age film. You get to see all the different lifestyles that these kids have and stuff. And it's just, for a while you think, where's this movie actually going to go? But it sort of just continues to build the tension until you want to know what's going to happen next. What way are these kids going to go? Crispin Glover character is eccentric and just out there, like the guy himself. But he's fixated on covering up the murder and making this guy, sort of the guy who killed the girl disappear so that he doesn't get caught, and they bury the body. But all the other friends don't want to have anything to do with it, want to ignore it. They want to call the police but are afraid because they don't want to be said to be a narc. And they also have their own family life to deal with. So the dead body almost is just a fleeting moment that they don't dwell on too much. Keanu Reeves' character is sort of your central character in this film. He's the one that has the more moral standing, I guess. He's the one who's quite conflicted and he doesn't want anything to do with it for a while, and then he goes on to be the one that tells the police where this body is and what's actually happened. There's a lot of great moments with his character, and to be honest, there's a lot of great moments with all the characters. There's also Dennis Hopper, who is like the local drug dealer who's a recluse in his house and roams about on his own with a sex doll and a gun. So yeah, there's so many different elements to this movie that all come together in such a great little story. Like, not an awful lot's happening, and it all takes place in the span of one night, but it is a very compelling story just to see how these kids react to the situation that they're in. Because a lot of us would probably like to think, we'd call the police straight away. It's unforgivable what this guy has done. But if you're that age, would you really react like that? Would peer pressure and your circle of friends contradict what you actually want to do? So I think this movie explores that quite well. There's moments I was watching this film going, no. You would call the police, you would get this dude lifted straight away, but then I guess I have to think about it, at that age, younger age, you don't really know yourself. Your friends are all you got. Would you? Or would you sit there and dwell with guilt? Or maybe not even guilt? Would you feel anything for this girl? Because a lot of the conversation in this film is that the kids don't actually have any emotion towards the girl, even seeing her dead body. So yeah, it's just I can't get into it too much because I don't want to spoil too much, and I don't want to I'm not, like I've said before, I'm not a film philosopher or anything. I can't get into the whole deeper meaning of all these movies and all, but I've literally just watched the film before making this video and wanted to give my first impressions, I guess, and what I thought coming straight off the movie. The credits are still actually up on the TV at the moment. I just paused them and started recording. But it is a great movie of character study. I think if you're really into film and you love films that deal with different characters in complex sort of ways, and this film is really good for it. It's also really good just from a casual standpoint because it is an interesting story to see these kids go through this weird ordeal. And like, there's a delinquent. Keanu Reeves has a younger brother who is so angry and doesn't know where to put this frustration, so he's always trying to join their gang, and then he ends up going on this weird rampage with one of his mates where they steal their dad's car. They got nunchucks, they steal a gun. Like, it's pretty crazy. And then the drug dealer ends up like becoming sort of friendly with the murderer, and they have this weird side plot going on. And Crispin Glover's on speed, and he's just going mental. Keanu Reeves is with this girl, and they have this like sort of love thing going on. There's a lot going on in this film. I think it's as realistic as it isn't realistic at times with the way they portray the characters, but it is still a very interesting watch. I would highly recommend it to anybody who's interested in films like this. But I would say don't go into it thinking it's going to be any sort of happy ending or anything, or you're going to get some sort of resolve from it, because life sometimes doesn't have resolves, and I think this movie has a good way of portraying that on film. I don't know. Honestly, I could be talking a big sort of shit right now because I feel like I'm just blabbering, but you know what? It's the first thing that came to my head while making this video, and I want to be as honest as I can be doing these videos, so yeah, take it as you wish, but I could probably talk about this movie more down the line, but for now, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Join me next time. I'll probably talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. We'll see. We're on Facebook, on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe, all that nonsense. You know how to use YouTube. You don't need me to tell you how to do it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.